everyone, and thank you for tuning in.
Yes, and that's a big thanks from me too as well.
Definitely. I mean, we like taking the time to thank you guys.
But that's a great thing, right?
Obviously, Mars.
Yeah.
I hope you guys know how seriously we take that.
Yeah, it might come across just like a thank you, but honestly, guys, we really mean it when we say it.
Exactly. So I'm going to take this moment to thank every single 54 viewer and supporter. I mean, you guys make this show happen.
Yes, guys, thank you for supporting us, for pumping us up, for really encouraging us. Every single one of you guys, and I mean every single one of you guys, are absolute bests.
Definitely. So, the lowdown is next. Today on 54, we have the pleasure of chatting to the endless talented and stunning Twala Ng'ambi. She's a fusion of creative art and academics, and you don't want to miss out on what this inspiring woman has to say. And it's carnival time, so it's a definite must-watch.
Carnivals. I just love the sound of that.
Me too.
I mean, it reminds me of something spectacular, awesome, vibrant, colorful,
Okay.
fun.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I agree with all of that, and you pretty much described 54 as well.
I mean, we are all about that and more.
Very true. Now, before we go into carnival mode, there is a lady whose voice you will love hearing, and here she is. After being discovered at an open mic day, today she's one that many wait to listen to. It's not just about her great voice, it's about her warm personality and the hot drive for a successful life. Talented in so many ways, if she's not creating the next building plan or in studio, she's designing African-inspired fashion. Creativity certainly has no boundaries for her. So we're here with the beautiful Twala Ng'ambi. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show. Like, I'm talking to her like I don't know who she is.
I mean,
like
amazing
We go
radio
way back.
presenter.
Yeah, we're good friends.
We're about to know each other.
Yeah, we're about to
Let's
become
do this.
besties.
All right, so let's let the people know. So, who are you? What do you do? Where do you come from?
Oh, wow.
I know that's quite deep questions.
Those are such deep questions. I'll try summarize it like a Twitter bio.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
I am 20-something. I kind of have a job on radio. I'm also studying architecture.
Yeah.
And just trying to live like a really cool, fulfilled life.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about radio, because that's where a lot of people know you from. You are on one of the biggest radio stations in Cape Town. How did that kind of come about?
If I told you the story, like no one ever believes me when I say it.
We want to hear
will
it.
believe
We
you.
will want to hear it.
Okay,
I mean,
so-
trust me, I'll believe anything.
It was not in my plans to become a radio DJ, but a friend of mine wanted to do the open mic edition that KFM had.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, as a good friend, I'll be there, I'll have your back, I'll hold your water, you know, I've got you. And we were really young, so we couldn't drive there. So we begged my mom to take us, and she took the day off work. She's like, absolutely, it's an edition, you know. Mom comes to fetch us, and my friend's like, oh, I don't feel like going. And of course, my mom is like, I didn't come here for no one.
Right?
Okay.
Someone is doing an audition today. I don't care. I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
And both my mom and I ended up auditioning just for fun. Like we just went
your
there.
mom auditioned
She auditioned too. Yeah.
I know that.
That is cool.
We both auditioned, and it was just like fun. And we left going. Of course, they probably think we're nuts. And somehow I won that.
Hey.
And that was the beginning.
That is so cool. So now how do you balance your, because you said you're studying architecture, how do you balance radio and architecture?
Time management. My dad would give me that speech way too often. But it's just a question of sort of making time for stuff. And I think if you really put your mind to something and you work really hard, you can make it happen. It's not easy, like obviously,
Yeah.
but it is definitely possible.
So what has been some of the best parts of being on radio?
The people.
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing I love most about my job, is that you get to speak to people that you wouldn't ordinarily have met, that you otherwise wouldn't have come across. And I think that for me is what makes the job worth doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So now let's talk about passion. So you said it was not what you wanted to do, but have you sort of grown a passion for it at the moment? I mean, right now.
I always found it intriguing. So I'd listen to people on the radio and be like, oh, it must be so cool not to go to bed early and just do this stuff. So I always found it intriguing. But when I got into radio, I was studying to be an architect. Like I was focused and very much on I will grow up one day. And my kids will wake up and say, oh, mom's an architect. And so when I got the commercial show, that was definitely not necessarily part of my plans. But it's definitely a passion of mine. I think what runs through all the things that I do is people. And that's why I love radio. That's why I want to get into architecture and develop social sort of design and focus on that kind of stuff. It's just the idea of connecting with people with your words and as well as with buildings. I mean, you're always interacting with like the world around you.
Yeah.
And as an architect, we just get to create it.
Yeah. So are you always that person who like looks at houses and is like, this structure and this and this? Because, you know, sometimes people in professions have a very different view about, you know, the things that, the industry that they're part of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because before I started studying it, obviously you're like, I want to be an architect and we design buildings. And you drive in the street and be like, ugly building, nice building, right?
Let's just throw shade, ugly building.
No, but you'd always have such a big opinion. And then having studied it so much, you get to a point where you're like, even a building that you don't like, the amount of work that goes into it, the hours, the number of people that are dedicated to this thing, and buildings aren't erected overnight. So that means that this project, as ugly as you may think it is, somebody spent a lot of time and effort and love and money building it. And so I've kind of learned to appreciate things more in that regard. Whereas before I was just like, I don't like it. I like it, you know, just with the filter that wasn't, I guess, architectural at all. It was just like personal opinion.
So that is so sick. I have a friend of mine that he was also studying architecture, but he got a calling or some type of revelation. He's like, where in his heart he just felt like instead of building houses for people, he's gonna build a house for God. So like studying architecture, do you see maybe buildings in such a way? Have you ever got like any revelation from a building, like sort of like, you know, like a technique that maybe builders use and then you were like, okay, cool, that's actually a lesson. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, when I first started architecture, I used to watch all those like lifestyle shows on TV, and I'd be like, oh, I want to one day have my building on TV while they walk through in pretty dresses and say, you know, created by Twala Ng'ambi. You know, this is a beautiful home. And the one thing that I guess was a revelation for me was one, how many resources we have, especially as just a continent in Africa, but also how architecture is more a way of thinking and problem solving and not so much about the fancy Nancy beautiful homes. And that's why even when I said to you, you know, I want to graduate and I still want to do social projects, is why can't we use our minds for other people? Because I mean, so many people in our continent suffer so much. And it's not just about having the money to build these huge things. It's about having the knowledge to address social problems. And I think that was the mindset that really was a change for me, studying it.
Yeah. Now, do you think being a Christian in either, you know, radio industry or architecture industry can sometimes not be seen as the best thing to be? Because I know in the entertainment industry, sometimes being a Christian, they're like, oh, are you sure you are one? Or,
like,
you know,
are you one for real or are you just saying it because it's trending? You get that a lot. And I think also with the industry being what it is, you also receive so many opportunities. And I think that's the one thing that people don't see is people, like I've got little sisters and they have friends that, you know, have watched my career and look up to me so much. And I think the onus is on us to also share your story, you know, what you've been through, how many times you were on your knees praying for something, or just asking for guidance, because the industry isn't easy. And part of life is that you have that choice. Things will be presented to you. And I think the one thing that a lot of Christians in the industry don't share that much is how many opportunities you say no to. Because if you really believe what you say you believe, they just aren't suited for that. And that's what makes it a little bit more, I guess, difficult and the climb a little slower. I mean, you can go from 0 to 100 in the industry if you just, you know, but if you really stay true to what you believe, I think your career will last longer and it will be more authentic, I think.
That's true.
Talking about difficult moments, obviously there has been maybe some difficult moments, especially in the radio industry. I know that can be sometimes rough. So how did you overcome like some difficult moments in the radio?
I've been really lucky that I have the most supportive parents. And I'd always go to my mother. Because you know how mom's supposed to know everything? And like when I look back at it now and all the hardship that I went through and the difficult moments within the industry and just personally, and I'd always go over to my mom. And if you look at all the advice she gave me, if you summarized it, like I go to mom because mom knows everything. And when I think about all the times that she gave me advice, if you summarize it, she always said, pray about it.
That is...
in different, like, she'd
different
give you a
ways.
long speech or whatever,
same thing.
and then she'd be like, go, you know, you need to make sure that it's good with you and God.
Yeah.
And so as much as I want to say, you know, my mom's amazing and she's great, but she always would just, you know.
all the moms out there.
Yeah. Sort of guide me. And I think that's been very helpful. As well as, it's a weird thing, and I haven't really told anybody this, but when I first started with my career in broadcasting, I was 19. And I just did it because I was like, extra money and I'm still studying, like I'm happy, you know? And then when I was given the opportunity to have a really huge show, which meant I'd have to take a sabbatical from studying and all that stuff, of course I went to my parents and asked, you know, is it a good idea? I'm taking time off school, you know? And my dad was like, hey, it's your choice because it's your life. I would obviously advise you this and, you know, this is what I would do. But it was my decision. And when I was doing that, my mom had only one request. She said, write down why you're doing what you're doing. And we sat and wrote a letter, I guess to me, by me, just saying, these are the things I believe, and I grew up in a Christian home, and these are my values. And even saying yes to this opportunity, I'm hoping to enrich myself in this way, I'm hoping to enrich others in this way. And we wrote that letter. That was the only criteria. And then I went and I signed my contract. 2 years into my contract, my mom brings out this letter and says, hey, are you still living up to this? Like, do you still feel like you should be doing what you're doing and that you're still honoring God while doing it? You know, and are you still happy? And I was just like, that's, you know, didn't think the letter would ever be useful. I just wrote it because she was like, you know.
You need to,
But I think that's been really important, is just staying true to who you are and what you believe. And I think my family's definitely helped.
Amazing, sure. Now, I mean, you started at 19. I mean, there's a ton of people watching right now that might want to be in the same position that you are in, whether it's in broadcasting, as a radio or TV presenter, or in architecture. What advice would you give to somebody who would like to be in a similar shoe? I
think that the one thing that I've always pushed is dreaming. Like, if you speak to me, if you speak to my sisters, I'm very much on a dream. Don't stop. So if you want to do something in engineering and you also want to be a fashion designer or opposing sort of careers, if you can dream it, you can do it. And I think obviously there's hard work that goes into everything, but don't be afraid to dream and just go out and try.
Don't be afraid to dream.
Let's all just dream.
Just go out and try.
I'll be dreaming every day.
What do you want to be?
I'll just wake up because I need to do my job. Anyways, but yeah, so what's what's next? So what's next? Like, what's next in the coming years? Where do you see yourself going?
I want to graduate.
The next mission.
That is
one mission.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just trying to like do baby steps at the moment.
Yeah, that's cool. Any place you want to travel to?
Ilan.
That is cool.
Did I say Milan or Ilan?
I think you said Ilan.
Sorry, Italy, Milan. I just made one new word.
It's Ilan. Let's just all go to Ilan.
No, it's Milan in Italy.
Wherever Ilan is, we're going there.
You guys were like, yeah.
I know,
how much geography do you know between the two of you?
You're the guest. Everything you say is right. Whether it's like...
You were like, yeah.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
I was like, we will fix it in post. We will fix it in post. And in Africa, is there any specific place you'd like to visit as well?
Lagos.
Yes.
I actually have a girl in our class who lived there for a few years. And I sat next to her by accident on the bus on a field trip.
Yeah.
And she's just like talking about it and hyping it up, and we're just like, can it really be that great? And she's like, okay, well, let me tell you this about the people, and then you've got to taste the food. And so now I'm like, that's it. It's on my list. That's where I'd want to go. Yeah.
Those are Moyes people. Moyes,
I know, right? You see what I mean? Like,
those are
our
all Moyes
people,
people.
Nigerians, are just the best.
Is the food really as good as they say?
No, it's amazing. Like,
like it is worth the whole trip.
As in, we miss it so badly that it's a problem sometimes. We have to get our fix. Like, it's that much of a
we need to go.
No, we
need to make
going.
a plan.
I'm gonna send you there actually today because we have a quiz on our show. Okay, so it's called the Afri Quiz.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's where we quiz you on any country on Africa. So maybe you might choose
Nigeria.
It might be Nigeria.
Does it come with the food associated?
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see your knowledge about it. And you know, if you do top 8, maybe we could send you. I'm just saying, hint, hint. I'm just saying we could send you. I'm joking, man.
On his budget. Because as far as I
He
know,
got me
it's
so
completely
excited.
new to
I was
me.
like, okay, I'm probably gonna pack those for a pair of shoes.
No, but yeah, it's a quiz on our show. We're just gonna quiz your knowledge on Africa. I know your geography is tops. Are you ready to take it?
I just said Ilan, but I'm ready.
Yes, I know you're ready. I know you're ready. But
do it.
anyways, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It was a good conversation.
Yeah.
You
Thanks
kept
for
your
having me.
answers really sweet and short, but very deep. Like, no, but seriously, like very deep. And you're very onto the point.
All right.
Thank
so
you very much. Huh?
Let's go play the game.
We all know Africa is the second largest continent in the world, made up of 54 countries. So choose a piece representing a country. You will then be tested on your knowledge, and if your general knowledge is less than general, we will help you out with some clues. Your score will then be added to the 54 scoreboard, and the aim is to try and remain at the top of the board.
Okay, Twala, the moment has come, okay? I did put you on the spot right there. So are you ready?
Kinda. I'm
Okay.
hoping for South Africa and Zambia.
We'll see, we'll see. So the trick is 60 seconds and, well, there is clues. So
Okay.
maybe you might win it, okay? So are you ready?
I'm ready. Kinda.
No, say with confidence,
I'm
man.
ready.
Okay, there we go.
Here we go.
And
Okay, stop.
alrighty. Okay, there we go. So the moment has come, okay? 60 seconds to get through 10 questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
And let's start.
Okay.
Okay. Number one, what was Ghana's name before independence? Guyana, Gold Coast, or Ghanaian?
Gold Coast.
Correct. What color is the star at the center of Ghana's flag? Black, red, or green?
Green. Red. Black.
Ah, wrong. Nigeria is one of Ghana's neighboring countries. True or false? Come on.
Oh, man. Say the question again. Nigeria?
Nigeria is one of Ghana's neighboring countries.
True.
Ah, incorrect. What is the official language of Ghana? Portuguese, French, or English?
English. Portuguese.
You were right the first time. Let's count
English.
it.
Okay,
Yes. Okay. True or false? Ghana is run by a king.
False.
Ah, correct. Kofi Annan is the president of Ghana.
True.
True or false? Wrong. Ghana is the world's largest producer of rice, cocoa, or tobacco.
Rice.
Wrong. True or false? The name Ghana means warrior king. True or false?
True.
Correct. Which famous Hollywood actor had a Ghanaian mother? Denzel Washington, Forrest Whitaker, or Idris Elba?
Washington.
Okay, and
Denzel.
we're done. And we're done. We're done. Okay, we're done.
Was
You
that
almost
right?
Got it. No, you were wrong. You were wrong.
He looks Ghanaian.
You got 4. You got 4. You almost made it.
So close.
Yeah,
So close.
Man, you're too good. You are too good. You know, double 2. So you're too good.
Ooh.
You see what I did there? It's 4
Do with the-
units. Drum roll, please. But it was awesome, man.
Thank
It was
you.
awesome. I need you gotta do it.
Are we gonna do like a little?
Booyah! And in keeping with the fun and celebration, a glamorous street event was recently held showcasing creativity and our African identity with its diverse array of communities and cultures. This festive occasion inspires our city and her people to create and build together. It was certainly an extravagant parade of costume performers, musicians, and moving floats.
And in keeping with the street vibe, we decided to talk to some vibrant Cape Town peeps and get their view on the local art scene.
I listen to hip-hop most.
Mostly it's deep house.
I listen to hip-hop music most of my time, yes.
I'm a jazz fan. I love a bit of rockabilly. I love jump blues and rock and roll. I love a bit of techno. We both love to boogie.
Hip-hop.
House music.
House music.
I do listen to gospel.
Hip-hop, pop music and salsa. I love salsa.
Well, I'm not a really fan of the local music, but they're actually improving in terms of their standards.
Not very into the local music. I do like Prime Circle.
At the moment, I do listen to a lot of hip-hop, but more like socially conscious hip-hop that makes you aware of things that's going on in the world.
Jacques is one of my favorite artists. He's a reggae artist and he brings life and soul out of it, what he sings.
But I do believe in gospel, in the Christian music, you know. But most of the time, I won't lie, I won't listen. I don't listen.
Yes, I do love gospel music because it's so spiritual and so transformed and it's so touching. And it almost leads us to the rightful things in life.
That I like listening to is, it's weird though, but it's Beyonce. I don't know why.
So I listen to jazz music a lot and my gospel music, yes. Classical, Balkan.
I listen to gospel the most.
Bit of gospel, yeah.
Our opinions might not be the same, but there's so many things that are. Hand in hand, we can form a chain that never can be torn apart.
There's so much creativity, culture, and talent just oozing out there.
Definitely. I mean, it's at places and events like these that you just see raw talent and blessing the city has.
Yeah.
I mean, well done to everyone.
True. And to you too for staying with us till the end of the show, which unfortunately means that it's time for us to say goodbye.
But guys, we will see you guys again. And I remind you guys to please keep writing to us. And you know how you can do that, which is via our email, which is chat@oneafrica.tv, or Facebook, which is www.facebook.com/FiftyFour show, or check our website, which is www.oneafrica.tv.
Yes, and remember that if you can dream it, you can achieve it. Bye, everyone.
Bye.